Nations League semis. Cristiano Ronaldo scores winner as Portugal beats Germany. Chelsea signed Ipswich striker Liam Delap in £30 million deal. And then we can do more. Face out Chipsa urges better education to harness Ghana's football talent. Sweden All Blacks, Rudolf Mensah lands big nomination at Ghana Football Awards. And then 2025 French Open. Golf beats Madison Keys to reach semi-finals. And then we made the decision that is best for the team. New York Knicks state after sacking Tom Thibodeau.
Tips. I was quite surprised to hear that they sacked him.
He got them all the way quite a bit.
I don't quite get it.
Well, as for sports, dear, it's very unforgiving sometimes, very ruthless. Sunderland. Okay, let me get that story. Sunderland loan ends for Ghana midfielder Salis Abdul Samed. That's a sad one. Ex-Germany coach Joachim Low backs Nico Williams' potential move to Bayern Munich. And that deal is back on the radar. GFA assures of expeditious resolution of case involving Nations FC and Basake Holy Stars. Other stories on GhanaSoccerNet.com this morning. Dutch Ghanaian forward Patrick Justin parts ways with William II. Let me look at his face. Okay, it looks like Ghanaian small. Who would see? And Kofi Adams has been speaking. Kofi Adams calls for proper education for club owners in Ghana to end hooliganism. And the National announced contract talks with Thomas Partey amid 4 senior exits. And then top executive Kojo Akoto Banfo resigns from Oko United. All of these stories you can find on GhanaSoccerNet.com this morning. Let me quickly go international and check out what's on Go.com this morning. Go.com, Ronaldo snatches the glory, but Mendes is Portugal's hero. And then Liverpool transfer priorities. Signed vets, but ditch Darwin. Oh, wow. Darwin Nunes would leave the club. New Gundogan. Rangers can revive City's lifeless midfield. All of that you can find here. Yamal's eye-watering valuation revealed. All of those stories are here. Man United's 8-point plan for a successful transfer window. They are all here. The plans they have for the window is here. And then FIFA confirms 34 team-based camp training sites for Club World Cup. And one other story here. Ancelotti hails Chelsea-bound Estevao Willian. New Brazil coach. He's ready, so he's happy this young.
Feels strange, right, to describe him as new Brazil coach.
Yeah, new Brazil coach. That's an interesting one there. And the SkySports.com this morning. I want to win trophies. Chelsea completes £30 million deal for Delap. Delap wants to win trophies. Okay, Grealish set to be left out of Manchester City's Club World Cup squad. How could Mbomo, Cunha, Fernandes fit in Amorim's system? All of those stories are here. And Man United submit opening bid for Brentford forward Mbomo. And then other stories here. Ronaldo and vets on target in Nations League with futures in focus. And then one other story here. Decision on Postecoglou's Spurs future imminent. And then Martin agrees terms to be new Rangers head coach. Now, Sky Sports Tennis, this morning they have stories on the ongoing Roland Garros. Novak Djokovic beats Zverev to set up semi-final clash against Yannick Sinner. World number 361, Lois Boisson sets up French Open semi-final date with Coco Gauff. And Boisson has been remarkable. She's been phenomenal. She's played some great tennis at the tournament.
Golf.
Yeah, no, Lois Boisson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's ranked. She was a World Cup ranked number 361. But she's beating Jessica Pegula. Yesterday she took out Mira Andreeva, and I mean she's done.
That's a good run. Yeah. That's a very, very good run.
It's been this is the first time a seed as low as 361 has made it into the semi-finals of the French Open in 40 years. So, very remarkable. She's done well. I remember Boisson? When that told her she stinks, but
the deodorant lady.
Yeah, this is the deodorant lady. Yeah. She's in the French Open semi-finals.
She's done really well.
And all of a sudden people are saying, she's possibly a man, Charlie, some discussions come up,
people can't enjoy their fame. People can't enjoy their fame in peace.
Oh, now they are saying she's trans. All sorts of stories, but she's doing well. I think she can cause problems for golf because she has a very good forehand.
Yeah, you've stated that and taking on golf requires a certain direct plan.
Direct skill. If she targets her forehand, she's done. She can go through. So we'll see how things pan out for her in the next round. Musetti should have been disqualified after kicking a ball at the line at a judge. Okay, so that's another one. The Tiafo hits out at comical calls for Musetti, avoids French Open disqualification. Order of play: Sabalenka versus Iga Świątek today. It's a big game today. We'll see how things go. Sabalenka not having a good run. She doesn't have a good run against Świątek on clay. So we'll see how that game will
go. The
head-to-head
is 8-4 in favor of Świątek.
But she's not dropped the set in the French Open this season. So we'll see. It should be an interesting game, but I think Iga should get this one. Possibly. But Sabalenka, she always has, some strange things when it comes to the sport. She does magic sometimes. So we'll see how things go. And final story here, Sky Sports F1. Is Haja the answer to Red Bull's horrible second seat next to Verstappen? That's a question you're asking to the UK government to work with Hamilton's Mission 44 after Downing Street visit. And then hard to watch. Rosberg says something missing for Hamilton at Ferrari. All of these stories you can find on Sky Sports F1 this morning. Nathan.
Okay, let's get into the stories. I don't know where you want to begin. Okay, maybe we should begin with the sports minister, right? He's talking about hooliganism. And he's saying, this on myjoyonline.com, he's saying that some club administrators are clueless following recent acts of hooliganism at league centres. Week 33 of the Ghana Premier League was marred by violence, particularly during the fixture between Basake Holy Stars and Nations FC at the Ampine AAK, the second sports arena. Nations FC reported that this chairman, Kwame Che, was allegedly assaulted along with the club president, Divine Che Boedu. According to the club code, this hostile and violent conduct created an unsafe environment for our players, technical teams, and officials, end quote, leading to the eventual abandonment of the match. And the sports minister was here, and he's been quoted by My Joy Online. And it says, quote, it's quite unfortunate that we continue to have such situations. What I have seen and know what we must do is to have proper education of club owners. They need serious education, even before the fans. Some club owners seem not to be up to the task beyond just owning the clubs. Some management clearly seem not to understand. They are so clueless about what football is all about. End quote. After nearly 48 hours, the GFA acknowledged the disturbing incidents and confirmed that an investigation was underway. So that's the story from that particular place.
Well, Nathan, this issue of club owners, I've always said that club owners should know their place when it comes to the sport.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to see Togbe Afede in the stands, move from his VIP section, walk onto the pitch, then he clearly knows his role as club owner. If Otunfo is not going to move from Mensia, go to Babaya Sports Stadium, sit in the stands, there's something happening on the pitch, then move on to the pitch and go and give instructions. He clearly knows his position as club owner. We can relate that to what happens elsewhere, abroad. Okay, but over here, some of these small clubs that have bankrollers who run a one-man show, when there are issues on pitch, you'll find all of them rushing onto the pitch, taking decisions they shouldn't be taking. It happened in the case of Nswatremano.
Yeah.
It has happened in the case of Nations FC. Happened in the case of the Indums Club.
Elmina Sharks. Yes. Where Dr. Indum himself,
all sorts of things have happened with these, in quote, small clubs. It almost seems, it looks as if the owners of the club feel that because they pay the hard cash, because they can take some on-field decisions. Because there are reports that Nations FC decision to leave the pitch was at the instance of the club owner, Dr. Che. Those are the allegations that have been made. And clearly, should he have been on the pitch? Should he have been making those calls?
No, clearly not.
And club owners must begin to understand that, look, I own the club, yes, but some of these decisions I shouldn't be taking. Getting into some of these areas, I shouldn't be getting into some of these areas. I shouldn't be on the pitch. I have no business being on the pitch, instructing my players or giving anybody instruction or talking to a referee or questioning a referee. It doesn't happen anywhere. And so I think that they need to be sensitized. They need a lot of education on this. And the GFA should be ready to crack the whip on some of these behaviors. And we are looking forward to exactly what will be the outcome of the Nations FC Basake Holy Stars issue before the GFA. We are patiently waiting for the decision because it should be the game changer It should be the game changer for, some of these behaviors. It should stop.
Of course, especially in a season where we've had Pole dying and all.
Yeah.
I mean, we should expect better, or we should do better. Anyway, if you stay on myjoyonline.com, Arsenal have confirmed that negotiations are underway with Thomas Partey over a contract extension following the announcement that 4 senior players would be leaving the club. Okay? The midfielder's current contract expires on the 30th of June, and speculation had surrounded his future, particularly after a season in which he delivered his most consistent performances since joining from Atletico Madrid in 2020. Partey featured in 52 matches across all competitions, 12 more than his previous highest tally for the club, scoring 4 and providing 3 assists. Now, Arsenal have confirmed that they are speaking with Chloe Kelly, Thomas Partey, and Michael Rosiak, and they will inform everybody of what the final outcome of those discussions will be when those discussions are done. So good news for Thomas Partey.
But Nathan, what is the good news for Thomas Partey? Look, at this point, shouldn't Partey be considering a move to Saudi to go and look for money?
But
No. Look, at this point, Thomas Partey doesn't have any point to prove to anybody. We all know Thomas Partey. We know what he's capable of. We know what he can do.
Yeah.
This Arsenal team, they are far away from winning titles.
Oh, how far?
Oh, Nathan. They are very far away from winning titles. This Arsenal team.
I don't think so.
This Arsenal team.
They've come second.
They won't win any trophy next season.
Who
this
says?
Arsenal team.
Who says?
Later. They won't win the league. They won't win the Champions League. They won't win the FA Cup. They won't win the EFL Cup. They won't win anything.
Arsenal have it in them.
Oh.
To win the FA Cup and the EFL Cup. I don't think that it is something they want to win.
This Arsenal team.
I think that they are not too far away from winning the league.
They are far.
They've come second 3 times.
They are very far.
I disagree.
The last time they came second, how many point difference between them and Liverpool? Nathan, you see, I'm saying this Arsenal team, they are very far away from winning the league. So Thomas Partey, listen to your brother. Thomas Partey, listen to your brother. Look, everything you have to do in football, you've done. We've seen. We know your quality. Go to Saudi and get some good cash. Good cash, my brother. Go to Saudi, take some good cash, and come and enjoy good life in Ghana. My brother, don't waste your time chasing titles you won't win.
Who says they won't win?
Oh, Arsenal.
There's no proof that if you say they won't win, I think that's a little
this
too
Arsenal
extreme.
team. This Arsenal team.
I think they will. I think they can win.
So Nathan, you believe this Arsenal team?
I think. Look,
and Arteta,
they are not too
can
far.
deliver Premier League titles.
They are not too far.
They are very far. But Nathan, let me send shout outs to my good friend Robert Kwega. He's listening to us all the way in New York. Yes, he's based in Long Island. It's in New York. He's listening to us. Robert, good morning to you. His nickname is Sinful. Robert Kwega, aka Sinful.
I'm dying to know the story behind the name.
aka Oboni. Good morning to you, my brother. But Nathan, let's advise Partey well.
Partey is getting an extension. When he's done with this extension, then he can go to Saudi or wherever.
No, see, time no day.
See, he still has
time no day.
He still has something to give.
Arsenal, this one there, I've breached the contract too. I signed a contract with Arsenal fans.
That's what.
Not to talk about them again.
So why are you breaching it this early morning?
Gamel, sue me.
Anyway, so those are some of the. I don't know if you have a particular story you want to touch on before we get into sporting news.
Yes, there's a story here on. I think it was on citysportsonline.com. Yes. And that story, okay. I think my man is seen already. So.
Continue.
My man is in. You don't worry. You continue. Later. When we come back, I'll get into that story.
All right. On our return.
Charlie, they say Arsenal people know you are not close to winning anything.
He is the one saying.
So that's what the aficionados. That's how they call them.
You just said that Arsenal are not close to winning.
Which club is close to winning something?
Next season. How are we there?
I'm asking which club.
So tell him which club.
Now Kasani Ebuza Timiano.
Have you seen what Pep Guardiola is doing in the transfer window?
What is he doing?
Have you seen?
What is he doing?
Have you seen what Liverpool are doing? Have you seen what Chelsea are doing?
Have you seen what
Chelsea are doing? Oh no, have you seen what Chelsea are doing?
What are they doing?
Nathan, the people who are serious, we've seen them.
But I say Arsenal won't sign anybody. I think, look, I've said it and I maintain Arsenal are not that far away.
The clubs who are buying, it's all because they've had a very early, transfer for them.
They have big problems.
The Club World
yes,
Cup.
they have big problems
Nathan,
to solve.
Nathan, wait. What is City's business winning the Club World Cup? They don't need it.
Who said?
Oh, Nathan.
Do you know the amount of money and
wait,
class
Nathan,
and pedigree
Nathan.
involved? Hey, all these clubs. This is a maiden edition of the expanded.
Since when?
This is a maiden
Since
edition.
when?
No, wait. That's why
Chelsea will be so interested in
asked-
winning Club World
you
Cup
asked
that they have
since
to
when?
boost their
Wait.
squad. Real Madrid will be so
but-
interested in winning.
But why do you think Real Madrid paid for a free? Paid was it 10 million or 5 million
yes, it
pounds
is.
for a free trend?
It is
Wait, Raymond.
Semi-preseason.
What is a semi
You
preseason?
can call it all you want.
What is a
Semi-
semi
It's
preseason?
arguably, now the biggest thing you want to win in club football.
Exactly.
The clubs that are bolstering their squads, they're thinking of the future. Oh.
But
Yes,
of course you have to think
but
of the
Real
future.
Madrid could have waited
But they
in
said no.
June to the end of
Oh,
June
the one
for
the coach, that's what I'm saying. The coach is
wait, Raymond, stop.
Xabi Alonso is going to
Raymond,
use
stop
this
that,
tournament.
Raymond.
That's a preseason.
Raymond, stop that.
Whatever it is,
Preseason.
it's an opportunity.
Raymond.
You know, you will
Then
get into that.
You ask now, you're not serious. Since when did you start taking your nose close to the lap and Zubimendi and co? Have you bought anybody?
But why don't know?
Who said Arsenal wanted to sign the lap?
You want to win.
You
league.
think you don't have vision or what?
In Bomo and teams or they go in body. Kunya James.
And Obusamo 300k, no Mbwemu 240k.
He's asking who?
Manchester
It
United.
was any less
And
than
you people are running away.
it was any less than 50,000. United should give him 300,000.
Which club?
Anyway, Kelvin, how are you doing?
Ade also. Everything cool. Welcome back.
Thank you. Anyway, let's get into the
In
sporting.
French, how you say bon arrivé. Bon arrivé. What? Bon arrivé, what I say? Do you understand?
All right, let's get into the sporting news extra.
Breakfast show. Now let's get into the news. And Cristiano Ronaldo once again rose high to back the winner as Portugal defeated Germany for the first time since the year 2000 to enter the Nations League final. Portugal had to come from a goal down to win the match 2-1 on the 4th of June at the Munich Stadium.
Wirtz takes it back for Germany. Florian Wirtz trying.
Managed to book their ticket into the final. Cristiano Ronaldo and Francisco Conceição. Well, his father scored against Portugal when he used to play. That is the son of Sergio Conceição. He scored the equalizer before Ronaldo scored the second from a tap-in. It was Portugal's first win over Germany since 2000 as they look to lift the Nations League title for the first time since winning the inaugural edition in 2019. It was also Cristiano Ronaldo's 137th international goal. The second semi-final will come up this evening between Spain and France in Stuttgart, and the time is 7 p.m. kickoff. So that is also there about the Nations League. Now let's get into some transfer news. And Arsenal have confirmed they are in discussions with Thomas Partey over extending his contract, which runs out at the end of this month. Partey, who joined the Gunners from Atletico Madrid in 2020, has been a steady, if sometimes divisive, figure in Mikel Arteta's midfield. His current deal is nearing its conclusion, but it appears both parties are still weighing the merit of an extended stay in North London. While the Ghanaian international's injury record has been a concern for Arsenal, his influence when fit is undeniable. So that is also the issue surrounding Thomas Partey and Arsenal, whether he's going to stay for another season. Now let's get away from that, as Partey is looking forward to stay. Jack Grealish has also been heavily linked with a move away from Manchester City, and there are now strong indications that a summer exit could be a matter of when, not if. Now, according to reports, the England international is not expected to be part of Pep Guardiola's squad heading into the United States for this summer's Club World Cup tournament. That decision could spell the end of Grealish's 4-year spell at the Etihad Stadium, with the Premier League giants ready to cut their losses on the £100 million star. Let's hear from Kavisol call on Jack Grealish not being part of Manchester City's squad for the Club World Cup.
There is a World Cup next summer. Thomas Tuchel is a big Jack Grealish fan, but he needs Jack Grealish to be playing regularly if he's going to get into the England squad again. I think the situation with Grealish this summer is that Manchester City are flying off to the US at the end of next week to play in this new expanded Club World Cup. This tournament is going to last 4, almost 5 weeks if City do well and get to the final. Now, if Jack Grealish's future is away from Manchester City, then it doesn't make sense for him to be at this tournament. It's much better for him to stay fit, go on holiday, and then work out what he wants to do in the future.
So that is it. There are the news on. That is Manchester City star. That is Jack Grealish, who will be expected to be leaving Manchester City at the end of the Club World Cup. Now, when Jack Grealish is struggling to make it to Manchester City squad, Jude Bellingham on the side of Real Madrid is going to represent just before he has a shoulder surgery on the pain that he has been going through after 2 years. Now, Bellingham has spoken about his excitement ahead of the Club World Cup that will be coming up in the United States from next week.
I would say the food if I was going for a holiday, but I think it'd be difficult to eat their food and play 7 games. So, I think just each city seems to have its own kind of different vibe to it. I think that's the more the atmosphere, the people, the accents. You know, it's all different wherever you go, and it would just be fun taking in a bit of everything. You know, I think, like I said, you don't get the chance to go there. I'm going to try and really soak it up.
Well, Greg, having the chance and really trying to soak everything up. That is from Jude Bellingham, who is going to represent Real Madrid. Now, to some more transfer news, Inter Milan have opened talks with Cesc Fabregas as they begin their search for a new head coach following Simeone Inzaghi's departure. The 5-0 Champions League defeat to PSG proved a breaking point, and now the Nerazzurri hierarchy are moving quickly to assess their next step. Fabregas is not merely a coach at Como, he's also a part owner and central to the club's long-term vision. That dual role has led him to reject offers already made this summer. Roma and Bayer Leverkusen were both reported to have approached him, but his decision to remain loyal to Como shows the level of integrity that has defined much of his career. Now, Como president Merwan Sowaso has also said that Fabregas will not leave the club amid interest from Inter Milan and then other clubs. So very, very interesting stuff coming up when it comes to that is Jack Grealish and many other things. But Delap has joined Chelsea. Well, Chelsea have won the race to sign, that is Ipswich Town's Liam Delap, who is going to lead the attack of the Champions League football. The chance to play alongside Cole Palmer, the youngest squad in the Premier League. They were 3 of the reasons that helped Chelsea to win the race to sign the forward. Manchester United, Everton, Nottingham Forest and Newcastle all showed strong interest in the England and the 21 striker after a £30 million release clause was activated following Ipswich Town's relegation from the Premier League. Manchester City had a buyback option after selling Delap for £20 million last summer, but opted not to use it. Earlier this month, the lap was given permission by Ipswich to speak to several interested clubs. So that is also an interesting one coming in there as teams are doing their best to sign players. Well, we'll just wait to see how things will pan out. As Cesc Fabregas is not interested in joining Inter Milan, Simeone Inzaghi has been appointed the head coach of Saudi Pro League side Al Hilal a day after leaving Internazionale. The Italian coach has signed a 2-year contract after leaving Inter on Tuesday. The Serie A club lost 5-0 to Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League on Saturday, meaning they suffered their first trophyless season since 2019-2020. Inzaghi was in charge from 2021, leading them to the 2023-2024 league title and winning the Coppa Italia twice. The 49-year-old also led Inter to the 2023 Champions League final, where they lost 1-0 to Manchester City. His first task at Al Hilal will be to take charge at the Club World Cup in the United States, where Hilal faced Real Madrid in the opening game on the 18th of June in Miami. So he's left though, but he has a big challenge for himself. So that is also the latest when it comes to Simeone Inzaghi. Let's turn our attention to the Roland Garros, and it was very much interesting to see Jannik Sinner moving up once again. Well, he had a very exciting game to make sure that he won and got into the semi-finals of the Roland Garros. Well, the Italian number one, who was banned and recently returned to action, made sure that it was a good enough display to dispatch of Alexander Bublik 6-1, 7-5, 6-love in the opening game of the quarterfinals on Wednesday afternoon. Sinner reflects on his game after defeating Bublik.
Yes, obviously very happy to be again in the semis here. Is a very special place for me. I felt like today I was very consistent from the back of the court, and I think that paid off a lot throughout the whole match, and I'm very happy. He was serving actually better there. It was a bit more breezy, a bit more windy, so when he was serving with the wind, he was serving very fast. On the other side, I had some chances on.
So that is there from him. Yes, looking forward to that. But he is going to face a very tall order, as he has Novak Djokovic to face in the semi-final. But Djokovic, who continued his quest for a standalone record, 25th Grand Slam title by swatting aside third seed Alexander Zverev to reach the French Open semi-final. The 38-year-old sixth seed won 4-6, 6-3, 6-2, 6-4 to set up a meeting with world number one Jannik Sinner on Friday. Djokovic, who has 3 Roland Garros titles, lost the opening set to 2024 runner-up Zverev after being broken in the first game of the match. So that was exciting for that is Novak Djokovic in a grand style. But let's turn our attention to the women's singles, and world number 361 Loa Boisson says she's not satisfied with defying the odds to reach the semi-finals of the French Open and wants to fulfill a childhood dream by winning her home Grand Slam. Boisson, who entered the Roland Garros draw as a wild card, ensured her fairy tale run would continue with a 7-6, 6-3 triumph over sixth seed Mira Andreeva. The French woman has now beaten 3 seeded players en route to the last 4 when she will meet world number 2 Coco Gauff. Let's hear from Loa Boisson, who wants her fairy tale run to continue.
I don't really think about what would be next, the ranking, Wimbledon and everything. I just try to stay focused in this tournament now. I really enjoy everything that I live here on the court and outside the court, so I will see this after. For now, I just have to prepare the match of tomorrow. I just proud of myself because it was really tough for me to go into the semi-final. Every match was really tough, so I'm just proud about how it ends every time, just like I finish the match. And that's it. I'm just proud about what I do on the court.
Well, so that is there from Loa Boisson. Very much happy she was able to get past. But world number 2, Coco Gauff, was standing away, and Gauff managed to praise her will to win after she overcame a scrappy start to beat fellow American Madison Keys and reach the semi-finals of the French Open. Gauff won 6-7, 6-4, 6-1 under the roof on court. Philippe Chatrier to reach the her third semi-final at the Roland Garros. Both players were well below their best, but Gauff eventually found her rhythm late in the second set and kicked on to dominate in the third. Let's hear from Coco Gauff, who flipped the script and powered into the semifinals.
I think I played a match in Orange Bowl. I'm pretty sure I was down like 6-1, 5-1 and came back and won the match. So that's one of those memories that always sticks to me, and it's like something I think about. I didn't think about it today, but at times in matches I have thought about that, and just I've had that in me from a young age. So when times become more difficult, knowing that I can dig deep in those tough moments. I think just the love to win, the will to win, and it's not. I don't think sometimes it's not something that's taught or anything. It's just I've always had that in me, and not just in tennis, but in everything. Very competitive person, and my philosophy is if I can just leave it all out there, then the loss will hurt a lot less, and regrets of maybe not giving it your all.
Well, yes, given it your all, waiting for what would happen there, Coco Gauff, on that particular feed. Now, today, there would be the women's semi-finals that will be coming up. Loa Boisson against Coco Gauff. That game is at 2:30, and then Arina Sabalenka and then Iga Swiatek will play at 1 p.m. So those are the matches coming up when it comes to the women's singles in the French Open. Now let's get to golf, where Rory McIlroy has explained his decision not to speak to the media during last month's PGA Championship, saying he was annoyed that news had leaked about his driver failing to pass inspection before the tournament. McIlroy said the results of equipment tests are supposed to be confidential, noting that Scotty Scheffler's driver had also failed before the championship, but that was not reported until afterwards. McIlroy explains on not speaking to the media at the PGA Championship after his failed driver test.
I was a little off because I knew that Scotty's driver had failed on Monday, but my name was the one that was leaked. It was supposed to stay confidential. 2 members of the media were the ones that leaked it. So why, I didn't want to get up there and say something that I regretted either, because there's a lot of people that I'm trying to protect Scotty. I don't want to mention his name. I'm trying to protect TaylorMade. I'm trying to protect the USGA, PGA of America, myself. So I just didn't want to get up there and say something that I regretted at the time. And with Scotty stuff, that's not my information to share. I knew that had happened, but that's not on me to share that. And I felt that process is supposed to be kept confidential, and it wasn't for whatever reason, and that's why I was pretty annoyed at that.
Well, very much worried about and annoyed about that. That is from McIlroy, who wasn't really happy with what transpired. Let's turn our attention to the NBA Finals, which begins with Game 1 tonight.
For the first time in 25 years, they're going to the NBA Finals. Tyrese Halliburton is gone now. And the Pacers are moving on. Siakam. Again, 3. Got it. He's a flamethrower. And this city is about ready to go bananas. One shot, Halliburton.
49 states, it's just basketball, but this is Indiana.
Well, so getting ready for the finals is just going to be a very, very powerful one. Well, let's see how things would be panning out. But let's hear from Tyrese Halliburton, who is speaking about the Pacers and their power going into the first game of the finals tonight.
Yeah, I mean, they're a great team. They're historically great on both sides of the ball. They have the MVP. I mean, there's so many different things that you could name down the list of why they are so great at what they do and why they're such a great team. And we know that this is a great team, and I wouldn't want to. If we were to win a championship, I don't want to win any other way. I don't want to go around or go over. I want to go through. You want to go through the best team. You want to go through the best challenge. So this is the best challenge, and this is the best team in the NBA. It's been the best team in the NBA all year, and they're well coached. They just do everything so well. So there's no shortcuts to beating this team. And we know the odds are stacked against us, but it is what it is. We want to be here. We want to play against the best, and this is the best. So we're looking forward to the challenge as a group.
Looking forward to the challenge as a group. Well, very exciting times, and I'm sure everyone will be looking forward to a very, very big night. Well, as we wait to see what will happen. But Chet Holmgren has been speaking about the OKCs and their power coming into the finals. Well, he believes that it's going to be a very, very big test for them, but he is pretty much sure this is going to be their night as they begin with a very big bang. Now, the first game of the finals will be coming up tonight with this all set in an unexpected but what seems to be a rather interesting showdown. The Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers are all set to be at their very best, with the first game coming up in the Paycom Center in Oklahoma. Let's hear from Chet Holmgren, who believes this should be their year.
One of the most important things that he's come in here and taught us is the importance of executing the details. You'll see so many times he makes a huge play out there, and it really comes down to inches. Was he in the right spot by a few inches? Was he able to reach the ball and poke it away by a few inches? And that comes down to knowing where you need to be and when you need to be there, what you need to do, and how to execute it. And he's really come in and preached the importance of that, and kind of shown us firsthand what that looks like. And it's been big. It's helped all of us, and it's been big having him.
Well, so that is it there. That game begins at midnight, 30 minutes after midnight. That is Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers in the NBA final. So that is it all for the Sporting News Extra. This one, a lot to be discussed. Yes, stay tuned with us. There's going to be NBA, there is tennis, there is football action. Yesterday, I don't know, some managers and how they think, including Roberto Martinez, whether he's mad or something. We'll come back and we'll delve deeper into the stories. Have a very good morning. Stay with us here on Sporty 106.1 FM on the